burning heart of the Arizona desert, a father stood between life and death, and his only weapon was silence. The sun hung low and red like a wound in the sky. Dust swirled around the small canyon where the Apache warriors had brought them. Jack Harlan, a weathered cowboy with calloused hands and a heart full of quiet love, knelt in the dirt. His two young daughters, Emily and Rose, clung to his sides, their small bodies shaking. Emily was 8, with freckles across her nose and eyes that still believed the world was kind. Rose was 10, brave and fierce like her mother had been before the fever took her 2 years back. They had been traveling west for a new start when the raiders found them. Chief Black Hawk stood tall before them, his face carved from stone and years of fighting. His dark eyes burned with the fire of a man who had lost too much to the white settlers. 20 warriors circled them, spears and rifles ready. The air felt thick, heavy with the smell of sweat, horse, and fear. "You took our land," the chief said in rough English, his voice low and sharp as a knife. "Now I take something from you. Choose. One daughter dies by my hand, or you die, and both girls live. Speak your choice, cowboy. Now." Jack's throat went dry. His heart slammed against his ribs like a trapped animal. Choose. How could any man choose between his own blood? Emily's tiny hand squeezed his finger. Rose looked up at him, her lips trembling but trying to be strong. Tears stung Jack's eyes, but he blinked them back. The world narrowed to this one terrible moment. He thought of their laughter back home on the farm, Emily chasing butterflies, Rose helping him mend fences. He remembered the way they crawled into his bed at night when storms came, whispering, "Papa, you'll keep us safe." Safe. That word now felt like a cruel joke. Seconds stretched into what felt like hours. The chief waited, arms crossed. The warriors shifted, uneasy. Jack opened his mouth, then closed it. No words came. Not because he was frozen in terror, though fear clawed at him like a wildcat. No, he stayed silent on purpose. In his mind, a storm raged. If I pick one, I become the monster they want me to be. I say one life is worth less than another. I agree that a man can weigh his children like coins. But love isn't a scale. It's a fire that burns for both, or it burns for none. He felt the weight of every father who had ever been forced into a corner. He would not play this game, not even to save himself. The silence grew heavier. Wind whispered through the canyon like a ghost. Emily whispered, "Papa?" Her voice cracked with confusion and love. Jack's chest ached so bad he thought it might split open. He wanted to scream, to fight, to beg. But he knew begging would only make the chief stronger. Fighting would get them all killed. So he locked his jaw and stared straight into Black Hawk's eyes. Not in anger, not in hate, just steady, like a mountain that refuses to move. Black Hawk's face changed. At first, surprise, then irritation. "Speak, white man. Your life hangs by a thread." He raised his knife, the blade catching the dying sunlight. The girls whimpered. Jack's hands trembled where they rested on their shoulders, but still, no words. Inside, Jack's thoughts raced with raw emotion. "I love you both more than my own breath. If I die, you might live. But if I choose, part of me dies anyway. A father's heart isn't built for this." Tears finally slipped down his dusty cheeks, silent ones that said everything his mouth would not. He felt the love for his girls swell so big it pushed out the fear. It was warm, fierce, protective, like a shield made of fire. The warriors began to murmur. One shifted his feet. Another lowered his rifle a fraction. The chief's power, once so solid, started to crack. He had expected screams, tears, a desperate choice. Not this. Not a man who refused to bend the rules of a cruel game. Minutes passed. The sun dipped lower, painting the rocks in blood-red light. Jack's knees hurt from the hard ground, but he did not move. His silence was louder than any shout. It said, "You cannot make me a killer. You cannot make me value one child over the other. I reject your choice. I reject your power." Black Hawk stepped closer. His voice softened, almost confused now. "Why do you not speak? Are you a coward or something else?" For the first time, doubt flickered in the chief's eyes. He had tested many men. Most broke. This one? This one was changing the test itself. The chief felt the eyes of his warriors on him. What kind of leader forces a father into hell and gets only quiet in return? Jack's heart pounded with a new feeling, hope mixed with pain. He could see the chief's shoulders drop just a little, the knife lowered. Emily buried her face in Jack's shirt, sobbing softly. "Papa, I'm scared, but I know you love us." Those words hit Jack like a warm wave. His silence had given them something stronger than promises. It showed them their father would rather die whole than live broken. At last, Black Hawk let out a long breath. He sheathed his knife. "You are no warrior," he said, but there was respect in his tone now, not scorn. "Yet today, you win without fighting. Take your daughters, leave this land. Tell your people what happened here. Tell them not every battle is won with guns." The warriors parted. Jack stood slowly, legs numb. He lifted Emily into one arm and held Rose's hand with the other. His body shook with relief, exhaustion, and a deep, aching pride. Tears flowed freely now, mixing with the dirt on his face. He looked back once at the chief. No words passed between them. None were needed. As they walked out of the canyon, the desert wind felt cooler. Jack's heart swelled with love so strong it hurt. He had not saved them with fists or clever words. He had saved their souls, and his own, by refusing to play a game that turned humans into numbers. Emily looked up at him, her eyes full of wonder. "Papa, you were so quiet, but you were the strongest." Jack smiled through his tears. "Sometimes, my girls, the bravest thing is to say nothing at all." They rode into the sunset together, 3 hearts beating as one. The story of the silent cowboy spread through the territories like wildfire. Men talked of it in saloons. Women whispered it by campfires. And somewhere in the hills, Chief Black Hawk sat alone, staring at the stars, wondering if true power was not in forcing choices, but in facing a man who refused them. In the end, Jack Harlan taught the desert a lesson no bullet could. When the world offers only wrong answers, sometimes silence is the loudest roar of all. And love, real, unbreakable love, does not break, even when everything else tries to make it. Thank you for riding along on this story. Drop your location and time one more time if you'd like, and if it touched you, send some stars, follow, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next tale.